Hello all, welcome back to the channel again. So today we are going to be discussing the chapter development economics chapter 1 social science CBSE class 10th. Now let's go to the next slide. So let's see what is development. Development in economics refers to improving the quality of life and well-being of the people of the economy. It encompasses both economic and social aspects. Now let's go to the next slide. So understanding economic development. So in this chapter, we'll be defining development with an economic context. We'll be highlighting the significance of assessing development, and many various indicators are introduced and are used to measure development. Now let's go to the next slide. Why do different people have different development goals? Different people have different developmental goals because different people have different desires. The life situation differs from each other. People come from diverse backgrounds. Different people have different dreams and aspirations. The economic, social, and cultural needs of every person change accordingly. Now let's go to the next slide. Now let's see about the perspectives on development. I request you all to take a look at this slide. Now let's go to the next slide. Now let's see what are the common indicators and methods. Uh, the various indicators like GDP, GNP, and HDI provide insights into a country's development progress. Exploring the Human Development Index as a comprehensive measure, HDI considers income, health, and education, providing a more holistic view of development. PPP, that is Purchasing Power Party, accounts for differences in price levels between countries, allowing for a more accurate comparison of incomes. Now let's go to the next slide. Now let's see about income and other goals. So here in this slide we'll be seeing about the income and other goals. Income is a fundamental aspect of development as it is directly impacts the standard of living and access to resources. Other important goals even include job security, health and education. Economic well-being is closely linked to job security, access to healthcare and quality education. Now let's go to the next slide. Now let's see what is national development. National development considers various indicators including per capita income, literacy rates and GDP to assess a country's overall progress. Now, let's emphasizing the importance of considering a nation's population size. Population size influences a country's overall economic and social dynamics, and it must be regarded as when evaluating development. Now, let's go to the next slide. Per capita income. So here in this slide we'll be seeing about the calculation of per capita income. Per capita income is determined by dividing total number of countries by its population, average providing an average income per person. Providing an illustrative calculation using an example, demonstrating the calculation process helps understanding how this important indicator is derived. Now let's go to the next slide. Now let's see what is public facilities. Access to essential public services like healthcare, education, and infrastructure is vital for improving the standard of living and overall development. Healthcare, education, and infrastructure as critical factors. Ensuring that all citizens have access to these services is a key goal in achieving development. Now let's go to the next slide. Now let's see what is sustainable development. The meaning of sustainable development is that the development that takes place without compromising the resources of the present and the future generation is known as sustainable development. So now let's go to the next slide. So now let's see what are the limitations of per capita income. While income is crucial, it doesn't capture the full scope of development, ignoring factors like education, healthcare, and income distribution. Examine factors like education, healthcare, and income distribution that it may overlap. These aspects are essential for evaluating the well-being and quality of life of a population. Now let's go to the next slide. Now let's see comparing perspectives. So here we'll be highlighting the differences between the criteria used by the World Bank and UNDP for measuring development. Different organizations may employ distinct criteria emphasizing the importance of a holistic approach to development evaluation, emphasizing the importance of adopting a holistic approach for development evaluation. Evaluating development from multiple angles leads to more comprehensive understanding of a country's progress. Now let's go to the next slide. Now let's see water environmental degradation. So here I'll be providing examples of environmental degradation that are observed in our surroundings. Here we'll be even be discussing about the impacts of pollution, deforestation and industrial waste. So let's go to the next slide. So before we discuss about the sustainable development, I would like to explain about the issues of undernourishment in our country. So, despite food availability, undernourishment remains a significant issue impacting the overall development of the country. Factors such as unequal distribution and lack of access contribute to this challenge. And degradation. Now, I'll be providing some examples of environmental degradation that are observed in our surroundings. Pollution, deforestation, and industrial waste have detrimental effects on the environment affecting overall development. This now we'll discuss about the impact of pollution, deforestation and industrial waste. Environmental degradation can harm the quality of life, making it a crucial aspect of development. Now let's see about the sustainable development. So sustainable developmental goals are adopted by all United Nations member states in 2015. It provides a shared blueprint for peace and prosperity for people and the planet now and into the future. So there are 17 sustainable developmental goals which are interconnected. If one of them is not achieved, rest of the goals will be a question mark. So, all these goals should be accomplished by all the countries by the year 2030. So, as its heart are the 17 Sustainable Developmental Goals, that are SDGs, which are an urgent call for action by all countries, developed and developing in a global partnership. They recognize that ending poverty and other deprivation must go in hand with strategies that improve health and education, reduce inequality and spur economic growth, all while tackling climate change and working to preserve our oceans and forests. So that is all for today's session. I hope you all like this video. Thank you all.